All right, here we go. Another live. I'm certainly happy to be here. And I look forward to you guys coming on and things like that. As always, all of my topics, I'm usually starting off with it's so important to me. Oh, look at that. I got a notification. I'm on live. All right. So, all of my videos, everything that I do on this journey means so much to me because of the experiences that I went through. And I'm so happy to be here sharing all of this stuff with you guys. You know, how to trust the journey. If there is anyone, well, you know, a lot of you can relate. If there is someone who is the biggest non believer, and you might be like, I'm the biggest non believer. Oh my goodness, let's talk about that. I was a huge non-believer. And then from my own journey. It was weird because when I started off as a coach, I was guided to become a twin flame coach. I kid you not, I got waken up 3 o'clock every single morning. The time would be like it will say 2:59, 3:01, you name it. I hit bed at 2 and I was awake an hour later until I got started. So at that time, I didn't know, like, I had the experience with my twin, but I didn't know where he was and so forth. I had to just get started on this journey and go with my intuition. Everything was intuitive led. And then I was doing perfectly fine. You know, it took a while because even my mission, I fought. I fought everything. I fought the universe on everything and the whole journey because I couldn't see what they saw for me. And the universe always feels like you're on the right track. You're doing wonderful. You're doing great. And you're like, what? Like, what do you mean? Even though you might still feel like you need more education, more guidance, more, but you're on the right path. They always feel that way. So I remember giving up the resistance to doing this work. Okay. And because the pain that I saw in this community, I was like, you know what? I got to get going and that kind of stuff. I can't play around with this anymore. And so here I was doing this work, helping others and so forth, living great, enjoying life. And like, I won't go too much into, well, yeah, living great was making plans to move forward with someone who I was with at the time. And the universe came and shook everything up, totally shook everything, and was just like, this isn't your path. You need to get on your path. And that started a fight within myself because I could not see what they were telling me. Okay, couldn't see it. So I remember this one day, I was just like, you want me to be with my twin? Show him to me right now. Okay. Literally 5 minutes later, I saw him and was completely shocked. But then this led down a journey of the universe is lying to me. They're lying. The universe will, not even just the universe, your twin flame's higher self is going to say all kinds of things to you. I want to be with you. I love you. Please wait for me. And in the physical, this might be with a lot of you out here. You're blocked. They tell you they don't want to be bothered, go away, and all this kind of stuff. So, how on earth do you believe your intuition, believe the things that you are being told when this person is showing you something different? Okay, they're showing you something different. And this was my battle. And I was like, universe, leave me alone. Okay. I cried too many tears. Oh my goodness, I cried so many tears. And I was like, you are lying to me. Okay. And I would constantly receive the guidance, like a lot of you know my story. Go to this place where he was working, go there, go there, go there, go there. And every single time I was like, I don't hurt myself like this. Like, why am I constantly being guided? The messages were just everywhere. And you might be like, well, it's just because you didn't care. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was caring too much that made it hard. And that may be the thing for a lot of you. because you want this connection so much. You want to believe, but there is this fear of what if I'm wrong? What if, oh my goodness, this is just bringing back memories. What if I'm making this stuff up? What if they don't feel the same way? Like all this, what if, what if, what if? Okay. And when you are someone who has an intense fear of rejection, because I want to talk about the runners for a little bit here. I really want you guys to understand that so-called running twin flame who's not running from you, most likely is running from the intensity of the connection, like that the strength of it, the amount of love they feel, the fear of getting hurt yet again by another person because no one stays in their life. Everybody disappears. People who say they're going to be there disappear, and all this kind of stuff. I do want to go into them a little bit, even the ghosting twin. Okay, so I'll back up to this. Well, I'll stick with this, but I'll go into it a little bit more. So, especially a twin flame who struggles with the fear of rejection, struggles. You're like, I don't understand, you know? I made myself clear. Like, I love them. I'm here. Like, you said all this stuff to this person, right? I'm here for you and all this kind of stuff, but yet it doesn't seem to register because that fear of rejection is paralyzing. It it's hard to overcome. It's something that just can't be, you can't talk your way out of it. It comes from years of protecting yourself, years of being in the ego, all of this kind of stuff, right? It comes from that. And so, especially with the twin who has a fear of rejection, there is this, I don't know if I can believe this connection. Okay, it goes both ways. There may be you who's like, okay, they're running from me, they have me blocked. I don't know. I can't. My intuition is telling me like I don't know how to believe any of this. And then there's the other end. No one shows up. I get criticized. I get judged. People don't stay. I can't trust myself. I'm used to running away from myself. I run away from my feelings. I hide from everybody. No one knows who I am. I don't even know who I am. So how do I trust this connection? How do I trust what I'm hearing? That's my son in the background grabbing the blanket if you can hear him. So then there's that. How do I trust? And the hopefully the sound is coming through okay. And so far I'm not seeing any comments. But it's on both ends. So how do you trust? How do you trust your intuition? Your inner knowing? I want to say it to you guys like it's just a simple have trust, You hear that message, just trust it. Just trust the journey. Be okay. It is not that simple. It's not that simple when you haven't been trusting your intuition all along. Okay? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. All right. When you haven't been trusting your intuition, and that is most of us out here. If you are the very few who was taught to trust intuition, who used it, perhaps your parents taught you how to listen to yourself and all this, yes, it is so painful. There you go. Yes, it is. And if you're one of those very few, I applaud you because you're ahead of so many of us. Okay. What you're doing with this connection, what this connection is teaching you, I should say, is to heal years and years of where you were not connected with yourself. All right? With yourself intuitively, emotionally, everything, having that connection with yourself. Okay? This goes back to your early years, perhaps past lifetime as well for a lot of you. Okay? When you were younger, God bless your parents. They did what they did what they can, okay? Even if you had the greatest parents, your parents were like, No, don't sit here. Don't eat that. Don't cross the street. It's dangerous. Don't like all of this stuff on the outside of you. And so your intuition at that time, you're a child. God bless you as a child. Says, "Well, I just want to jump into, I don't know, jump into danger." And your parents had to do what they had to do to protect you. But what this had caused, a lot of this, don't do this, don't, is it caused you to not hear that voice inside of yourself. And maybe some of you were the kind of kids that were like, well, I'm going to do what I want to do anyways, and things like that, because you knew what you wanted to do, you knew who you were, and all this kind of stuff. That's great. Lots of us were not this way, and we were, as kids, we want to please our parents, regardless of what the situation looks like, regardless of what kind of parent you have. There is this need to like feel loved, feel feel accepted and valued in some kind of way. And so you seek to try to get that and to do what you believe will please them. This is where a lot of this outside of your body disconnecting from yourself comes from. All right. And again, I'm not blaming your parents. If you're blaming your parents, go ahead and blame them. I'm not blaming them because they only knew what they knew. And a lot of these were how society was at the time. Now a lot of things are opening up and letting kids have a voice and advocating for kids and all this kind of stuff. But back then, they only knew what they knew at that time. Had they have known something different, sure, it would have been different. All right. So it continued like that. Years of not quite hearing that voice, listening to it. You hear it. That voice would be like, that person is no good for you. Don't do it. And you're like, I don't know, but they seem so sweet and charming and they say all kinds of wonderful things. And your inner voice is like, danger, danger, danger. And you're just like, I don't know. And so these type of patterns continued, right? Or your bound somebody had, I'm not so much into boundaries, but like let's say something doesn't feel right to you and you want to say something but you don't, so you shut that feeling down inside of you until it boils over, of course, and then now you're just like blah 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 blah, everything's coming out of your mouth, everybody's getting hurt, and you're feeling hurt too. Okay. So there has always been this voice inside of you that is trying to tell you something, that's trying to guide you and lead you in a certain way. And sometimes it may not have been the way that was best for you at the time. Maybe you were asking, how can I have a perfect relationship with this person who I know is not meant for me? Maybe you heard some guidance around that. Do this and all this kind of stuff. Who knows? But that voice was always there helping you out. And when that voice came, okay, when you heard that voice, when you met your twin, you didn't know how to believe it. Or perhaps you did in the moment. You're just like, oh my goodness, I met the one. I believe this. And then it's like the person runs or the two of you go separate ways. Something happens. And then you're just like, wait a second. I thought I felt something. I really did. I felt this intense connection. We seemed to get along with each other. Everything was going really well. I felt so accepted and seen and wonderful. Maybe I'm making this up. Where did it all go? Okay. While I'm saying this, I feel a lot of your pain out there, and you can see the pain coming up in me. Okay. Because this was years of me coming back to that inner knowing, to trusting what I had felt in the beginning. It was a fight for me, guys. I'm telling you. And the universe was just really consistent with me. The universe was just not giving up. And the universe gave me images of back then and was just like, you've got to remember. You've got to remember. You got to choose your twin. You have to, have to, have to. Like, these are things that I heard a lot, and I teach it to you guys because it works. Okay? And it was a fight. It was a fight with the universe. Like, I made it up. I made it up in my head. Here's the thing. All right, let me read something. There was something here. What is the purpose of the silence? I reached out to my twin last week after being inundated by their energy and asked to confirm if what I am feeling is true. He didn't reply the confusion. We'll talk about that. All right, we will talk about that because I do believe there is a, I want to call it a right timing to reach out, and your intuition lets you know when you reach out because you're just feeling that way. Oh, I just simply want to reach out. Maybe there's an intention behind there. Like I want some clarity. I want something. Like you were wanting something. It may be, and you can let me know if I'm wrong. If you did hear your intuition or whatever and things like this is why I don't believe that like the people around you, your friends and family, they're like, oh, just reach out, just call. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. The universe does can block one person from truly understanding the connection, from really seeing it for whatever reason. Some of you might be like, it's not block, it's free will, or they know. Mm-mm. The universe, I would say, hides part of this connection and releases it in divine timing. Okay? This was certainly my experience. You meet the one. Both of you are aware. Both of you are like, what is this? Why does this person get me? I wasn't ready for this. How did it show up right now? Like, oh my goodness, it's here, right? Both of you. But then, this is what I've observed. There is one person who is aware, more aware than the other. And I can't say if it's the one so called running or chasing. It can be either one, is what I've noticed. Sometimes the one you believe is running, the runner, is the one more aware than you are. And you're like, I don't understand. Like why would they run? Because, okay, this particular person may see things in you. Well, there's definitely them. I'm not excluding them from healing or even running from the connection. They're not excluded, okay? But they may see something in you that you haven't seen in yourself yet, that they know the connection's not ready. And you might be like, but I'm ready. And they're like, I don't know. Or perhaps they're figuring something out. A lot of times I've noticed the divine masculine is figuring out this connection, figuring out how to show up, doing all this figuring out stuff. And usually they need time to do that. But when, let's say, this is example, you come in and you're just like, well, I'm here, then they're just like, I really need the time to do that. If there has ever been a time where you're persistent, like, I really want you, I'm here, and all this kind of stuff, your twin might be less likely to respond to your call because they're sensing that this might be the energy, that this is whatever the case, okay? I'm just bringing up a scenario of why, I'm intuitive, I heard. Why your twin flame may not respond is because your connection is not yet ready. And perhaps they're receiving intuitive guidance. They're having a feeling like, no, don't answer this. And I'm not excusing any of it. I will have to say that I've never been that one to ignore phone calls. It's not a behavior that I can fully understand, and so forth. I believe everyone deserves a response and an explanation to open up. But we're talking about when it comes to trauma or people's understanding of connection, everybody is different. And so someone's experience may be, if I answer, they think we're together, so I'm just not going to answer, rather than answering the call and saying, listen, I can't do this right now. I'm not available. I have someone else. I don't know. Something to give that person a peace of mind. So people are brought up differently. You might be like, oh my goodness, I'm doomed. What do you mean people are brought up differently? You're not doomed. There is the universe, okay? There is a universe that is guiding each of you in your connection. All right. Things will not stay that way because the universe, when they mean business, they mean business. All right. And all right. So, hey, Anna Marie and Greek son. All right. I don't understand. If we are pushing with our thoughts, is it affecting their intuition as well? Yes, you got it. You nail that. I love it. Okay. You know, I'm a big believer in manifesting. I really am. But when it comes to this connection, I want to say when you receive intuitive messages, and guidance, your twin flame's higher self is telling you things like, wait for me, I love you, and all this kind of stuff. These are thoughts, but they're really more like feelings. You're feeling these messages. Trust those. Stay with those. Okay? But when the thoughts are coming from the ego space, like, I want them, I need to have them, they need to be right here. Why are they not here? How come they're choosing this? Why they're doing all of this kind of stuff? Or even, I want it right now. This is why I say don't put the word relationship into any of this. Because the moment you're like, it's a relationship, guess what? It's got to look like this, and I need to have it right now. All of this pushes away connection. Okay? Pushes your twin away. Thoughts, insecurities, if you're having insecure thoughts, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't know if they'll choose me. All of this pushes them away, pushes you away from experiencing connection. Let's say that, okay? Because it's hard to experience connection the way God intended or the universe when you're having these limiting beliefs and negative thinking, self doubt, and all this kind of stuff is not in alignment. In a way, you're pushing yourself away from experiencing connection. But yet, it happens to all of us. We're like, it's them doing that. They're the one doing it. No. Okay? There is somewhere inside of you that feels like this connection is not going to happen. I need to do something to have it. There's a part of you that forgets how magical you are. Or a part of you that says, I don't know how to trust connection that is actually going to show up and stay here and all of this kind of stuff. Okay? When you heal those, like the question that you had asked about the thoughts, when you heal and you eliminate these thoughts, your twin hears their intuition louder. All right. The same happens in reverse. When they heal, because they have their healing to do too, you hear your intuition louder. And you might have thought it was you who did that work. You're like, wait a second, I can hear myself. I can see clearly now how my behavior has been affecting this connection. And it could have been them that, well, I say them, but it's you. It's you in another body that just did that for you. You can say thank you. Yeah. And so you remove thoughts about relationships and be in the present moment and be more about yourself and anything that's going for you and so forth, and about experiencing connection as well. And they hear their intuition louder and they get guided. And guess what? because you're connecting with yourself, you're experiencing that alignment with yourself, your twin feels a pull towards you. Okay? It sounds simple. I know. It sounds simple. It really is. If the ego wasn't getting in the way and people's energies and all this kind of stuff wasn't getting in the way. All right, my thoughts are more like fighting with the universe, not with what she did. Right now, it's like, did I really plan this long before I am even born into this world? Then why is it so brutal, divine? Why is it so brutal? Why is it so brutal? All right, so I'm going to answer this from my observation and the work that I have done throughout the years with clients and so forth, even for myself. Why is it so brutal? Because the ego, okay, the ego protects. It's like a false protection. And also, a lot of us, many of us who, and this might be you, who come into this lifetime carry on the weight of the collective, so to say. This is not everyone. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's not you. You know who you are. Okay? And unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, you sign on for that, for the healing of, for that particular healing of the collective. And you healing that has a profound effect on the rest of us and so forth, okay? I didn't mean to laugh like that. But this wasn't just in this making. It was in the making since previous lifetimes and so forth. And now in this lifetime, you're healing all of that. You're healing a lot of this deep rooted pain that has been within yourself, generation, the collective, however it aligns with you, however that message fits with you. A lot of us are coming from generational pain, deep pain, passed on from one group of folks to the next. And everyone lived out in pain and hid themselves from that and accepted that as reality. Like, we have to work hard for what we want. We have to work hard for someone to like us. We have to work hard at whatever it is. You know, you work all these long hours and you shouldn't complain about it. Appreciate it. Many hours to make little pay, but guess what? You're working. You're doing your due diligence or whatever the case is. But we were miserable. You know, we stayed in relationships that were just miserable because society said to stay together no matter what. And if you leave, you failed. You're, whatever it is that played out in your head. If this wasn't you, then that wasn't you. Okay? We're healing a lot of this. And those patterns that were passed down, got a visitor back here. She's always messing up my chair. I will show you my chair, but it's her cat scratcher, okay? And so you're healing a lot of that. The pain that has been within your circle, so to say, okay? And it's been a lot of pain. It's been a lot of pain, okay? And it's coming out, and like where I'm going at is the ego, okay? The ego didn't just happen on its own. The ego came from somewhere. Those things that you're telling yourself when you get into the ego space, like, I'm not good enough, who wants me, nobody, no one cares, no one, all of this did not come, just happen on its own. Okay, you might have observed it from the people before you. Perhaps your parents used to say things like that, and you picked up on that. Their parents said the same thing, their parents' parents said the same thing, all this kind of stuff. And now you're going up against that, and you're having to heal that pattern that has kept us low for so long. Many of us, and you're healing that. And when when the pain comes up to be released from you, it's hard. Okay, this is one of the reasons someone you would call a runner runs, because that pain feels way too hard to go into. It feels devastating. It feels, I went through it, guys. It felt debilitating. Like it just, it's rough. And it's not something that it's something you can get through it on your own, sure. But I do advise hiring help to release that. Okay? What I do is energy clearing. I do some energy clearing work to help with releasing that pain that's coming up from the body. The pain can be so much. I've had clients who it was a lot of pain in them. Okay? And we release that so that they can make that connection with themselves. To someone else, they're like, it's simple. Why not just choose this connection? This connection shows you everything, brings up stuff within you. When you're experiencing that connection with your twin flame and you're just like, oh, they make me like mad or something, whatever, I don't know. They said something, they threw me off, they did something that is meant to be looked at. All right. A lot of times we just get really mad and say, it's them, it's them, it's them. And we push connection away and then wonder what happened, like, where are they? And things like that. So I hope that made sense. But when the pain comes up, it's intense, it's hard, it's coming out to be released, and it needs to find a way out. In order for you to begin really experiencing peace within yourself, within this connection, anyone who says you don't need any healing, that's great. But then what do you do about the pain that's still inside of your body, that's been there for years around connection? The fear of opening up about your feelings, the fear of allowing other people to feel connected with you. And when you're going through some things, rather than hiding it from people, when did you allow yourself to be seen, to allow that pain to be seen by the people you say you love and who love you? Okay, so it's all of this. All right, so I'll answer some questions here. Yeah, fighting with the universe. Yep, I certainly get that. All right. Hi, Maria. Hi, Asheen. Any advice on how to stop getting into mind and ego? I appreciate what it reveals to heal, but after that, how do we just release those thoughts? Any tips? Wonderful. I love how you said that. All right. We like to run from the ego, right? You get into this ego space and then you just feel awful about it. And you're like, I shouldn't have said that. Am I messing up my connection? Am I ever going to experience reunion? Because I can't seem to stop going into this space of destroy. Because that's what the ego does. The ego, when it is a little bit, it's fine. When it gets super heavy that you can't move past it, you can't move past the thoughts, there's no chance for healing, for connecting with yourself, positive thinking, inner child, it doesn't matter. The ego is just destroying in that moment. Okay? We tend to feel guilt and shame. Like, why did I just go through that? So I love that you say, I appreciate what it reveals to heal. Your ego, the things that you find yourself saying when you are in the ego space, is showing you something. These things are coming up because they exist inside of yourself. Otherwise, it wouldn't come up. And when you shut that down, you're like, I'm not going to pay attention to the ego. Nope, can't feel it, can't have it. It's still in you. Anything that comes up, fear, when you're feeling triggered, the ego, all of this, there's something within you that's trying to be released and processed. It's asking for your attention. You know, the things that the ego says, no one cares about me. No one, this is like, please give me some sort of attention. This is your inner being that's asking you, really. You might feel like it's asking the other person, like, please fix this problem that I have. You know, you need to make these changes so I can feel better. It doesn't work that way. The ego represents, the things you were saying represents that pain that exists inside of yourself. So when it comes up and after everything is all said and done and you've come back to you, because you will, you know, it's hard to believe that when you're in the ego space, you're like, I'm just gonna destroy this. But then it doesn't last. You'll come back to you and come back to, I'm hearing common sense, and you're able to connect with yourself again. Ask it questions. This is a part of you that needs love, that wants you to love it, just like you love any part of yourself. This is all you. All of this makes up you. Ask questions, okay? Why are you feeling this way? Where is this coming from? Is this belief even true? Like, look around. A lot of times the ego plus fear they're connected, tells you lies. It just tells lies. So find out the root of it. Why is that there? Why do you feel that way? And, you know, I work a lot with the inner child. Connect with your inner child if you cannot find your answers. This person inside of you has your answers. Okay? And if you're not familiar with the inner child, it is a representation of your subconscious thought. When you're growing up, you learn certain beliefs, patterns, behaviors from observing the people around you, and that stays stuck within your subconscious mind. So even though you consciously want something different, you're like, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this connection. Your subconscious mind says, I don't think so. You're going to hurt me. You're going to do this, this, and this. So I'm going to sabotage things so that way I'm protecting myself, even though I really want to be with you. Okay? In order to connect with that part of you that still remembers whatever painful moment you've had, you easily do this through your inner child. You're going to find your answers. And when people connect with their inner child, they're just like, am I making this up? I'm like, no, you're not. Your subconscious mind doesn't forget what happened to you. You might choose to forget. You're like, nope, I'm fine. I don't believe in this. You know, you ever say to yourself, I don't want to be like my parents. And then you find out you're like your parents because that is in your subconscious mind. You've got to heal that. Okay? And when you connect with your inner child, you find that root of the pain and begin to talk to it and give it love and heal it. Okay? So that is the response there. I struggle most with surrendering. What does it mean? It feels best to push my masculine away, but it's gotten to the point where he doesn't stay gone long. He chases. I relent and talk to him again. Alrighty. So why are you pushing? You know, when we think of surrendering, and when I really got into this, and I was like, okay, surrender. Watch a couple of videos on surrendering. I'm like, okay, I got this. I made videos at that time on surrendering, and I didn't even know what surrendering was at the time. Okay, if you catch my old videos, they make sense. I have to even watch my videos, and I'm just like, wow, where did this knowledge come from? It's good knowledge, but what? And I've got to come out with more videos. The knowledge I have being on this journey longer than those times is more profound, I should say, is so much deeper. So we're going to talk about surrendering, what actual surrendering is, how to really do that. And so it is challenging to fully surrender if there's a part of you that's still in pain and is pushing away connection. Okay? You can't talk yourself into surrendering because that pain, that unhealed wound, that unprocessed trauma is going to find its way to come out of your body. And so, where you're saying, I surrender, and in the fear of something, fear of being rejected, abandoned. To me, it's kind of very similar. The fear of, are they going to be with someone else? Are they, like, all that is going to come to surface because it hasn't been healed. It's not processed. And so you're just like, I'm here, I'm surrendering, and then the pain starts to be released from your body because that's what the connection is going to do. And it brings you so much further from surrendering. You really got to take a look at that pain and find out, why are you pushing him away? Okay? And a lot of times the pushing away, it's deep rooted. It's I want to say limiting beliefs. It's the things you were taught, the things you observed. If, for example, you're taught that all relationships don't work out, who cares? Nothing's good, no one stays together, no one, like, all this stuff that was taught to you is still there subconsciously. In a way, your inner person, I blame on your inner person, is like, you're going to hurt me, okay? To your masculine, you're going to hurt me. I was taught that divine masculines inflict pain or something. Men inflict pain in some kind of way. Some kind of way. And some of you might be like, what do you mean by pain? Like, what pain? As in, okay, the stereotype, the limiting beliefs, the false beliefs formed by society or with people that you were around. Like, I know for me, I'll just say my example. You might have a different example. All men cheat. They're all no good. Um, Anything like those. Okay. And so, how this comes out in your adult years is, go away from me because I was taught that you're going to hurt me. Okay. I've been hurt in the past, and everyone has proven that, and you're going to do the same. That requires healing before you can actually fully surrender. So, another part of surrendering, this is a big one. Okay. And, I say this with the love for the universe. Universe, I still got love. The universe, when you haven't fully surrendered in this connection, and I'm not saying because I wish it upon anyone, I'm providing you guys with the information. These are things that I've gone through and I've seen other people go through. You're like, nope, I can do without this connection. I don't really need it. Mm-mm. I tried the surrendering thing, it's not working out for me. Okay. Then comes the universe with some experience, usually painful, inflicts something that wakes up the emotion that you thought you didn't have anymore for this connection, that you thought was over. You're like, I'm done with this person. Either, I don't know, they changed their relationship status online, you get a vision of them or with someone else, or they moved, they no longer are near you, whatever the case. And you're just like, damn, that hurts. Okay? When, I'm trying to say it in a loving way. I don't know if there really is a loving way to do this. This is why a lot of people will tell me, they'll ask, does the divine masculine come back? Do they really? Yeah, when there's enough of these experiences, when the universe puts either you or this person, whoever is struggling with surrendering somehow, through enough experiences that wake up so much of your feelings and breaks your wall down, surrendering becomes the only option left. Like, I can't seem to leave this connection. It's in my face. I feel so much. The thought of them being with someone else hurts. I can't have these visions anymore, or whatever the case. And you find yourself saying, you know what? I give it all to God. Okay? Surrendering is not something that comes easily. It's not something you can talk yourself into. If you are someone who can actually do that, I applaud you. Any part of this journey where you're like, nope, I had surrendered and this is it. I know this is the one for me. I'm here. I don't care. I'm not going anywhere. Believe me, I applaud you because that was a struggle for me for a really long time to listen to my intuition and to trust what it's telling me was extremely difficult to do. Okay. And plus, chasing, hopefully, he will stop chasing. Pursue, perhaps. Chasing doesn't matter where it's coming from, it creates a push energy. Just being in the present moment helps with this connection a lot. All right, then we are stuck in this stupid friendship, weird, cringy bubble. I have no idea what I should do. Okay, are you opening up about your feelings, the things that are going on inside of you? Are you telling the truth? And if you say that you are, well, do you do it with people around you? Okay, because usually people say, well, with my twin flame, I open up and I tell them what's going on with me, and we do that for each other, but then do you do that with people around you? Because this friendship between twin flames is, to me, it's unspoken words. You both feel the connection. You're both aware of it to a certain degree, a certain aspect. You know where this is going, like you can feel it, but no one's opening up about it. There's this fear, if I open up, what are they going to think? What are they going to do? If I'm wrong, just let me know. You know, having fear around opening up, many of you are like, I can't tell them about this connection. I can't say anything. Well, when you don't say anything, I know some of you are like, oh, is she? What do you mean? Like, we saw the documentary. Like, go over there and tell your twin flame that you're it. It's not like that. It's not like that. Okay, when you have a fear of opening up about what you're feeling in the inside, this person mirrors that back to you. Your twin mirrors afraid to open up. Now, here's what happens when you don't open up, when no one's talking about it. Okay? Then it seems like you're making it up. You're both kind of confused about what you're doing, about what's happening here, about like just in total limbo. Like, I don't know what to do. Because I've had people say, I can't tell them about the experiences that I go through, the dreams I have, the 5D communication, and all this kind of stuff. Well, chances are your twins going through the same thing, and they're saying, I can't open up, I can't say, I don't. Like, you're both mirroring each other on this. Okay? When you open up, it takes that confusion out of it. Like, oh, I thought I was imagining this. Whoever opens up to it, hopefully you open up, and I'll help you with this, because you're like, how can I open up? I don't want to push them away. All right. When you open up, it helps the other person understand what they're going through too. There is this tendency to believe that you're the only one experiencing these phenomenal stuff. You are not. Okay? You're not. And in this connection, whenever you can't open up, it makes it hard to feel connected with your twin. This connection needs the truth. It needs the truth. But here's what happens with the truth is that we judge it. What are they going to think about it? Like, if I say something, we judge ourselves. We do all this judging and expect them to be open to the truth. Like, I judge my truth. Hopefully you don't do the same when the world is your mirror. Don't judge your truth. And when you open up about what's going on inside of yourself, you're expressing your truth. Okay? No judgment, no making up stories about what they're going to say, think, do, feel, None of that. It's your truth. That's all you're doing is expressing your truth. And they have the right for how they handle your truth. That's not your job to figure out how they're going to do that and that kind of stuff. So if your twin is not yet ready, or they can't see it because the spirits have them kind of like blind to it, you don't force that. You say, listen, I'm just expressing what I've been feeling inside about this connection I feel with you. Okay? And it takes some healing to do that. It really does. And if your twin is like, I don't know what you're talking about. In that moment, that's their truth. Nothing you can do about it. Okay. You set yourself free. Or they can be like, I've been thinking the same thing too, and I've been wanting to say something for a really long time. You don't know what it will be. And it's not your role to figure out what he's going to say. You're just expressing your truth. So if he's not ready, I don't want to talk to him at all. It hurts too much. How do you know he's not ready? Unless he tells you. Did he say he's not ready? Or has he been saying something like, if you open up about anything, I just need some time to figure things out? Because I find in most cases the divine masculine needs some time to figure things out. It's never been the case like, oh yeah, I feel a connection with you. Although some of you might say, yeah, they have, but there's reasons. If you open up and your twin is like, go away from me, there are reasons. Can be the energy of the connection, the things you're telling yourself, negative thoughts you're having, all of this kind of stuff, okay? But a lot of times that divine masculine will say, I need some time to figure out myself. I need some time. And it's okay. Be okay with hearing things like those. I wasn't in the past. And I took it as a rejection. Like, goodness, you're rejecting me. Oh my goodness, not again. Kind of stuff. I don't know. And it wasn't. If your twin says that to you, I need time to figure this out, is because they're trying to figure it out. Give them time to figure it out. Okay? I have never truly heard of not ready to experience the connection. Maybe they would say that. I mostly hear, I'm trying to figure this out. And yeah, like I mentioned, need some time. All right. Hi, Facebook user. Also, the lesson you learn through twin flame connection, including ego, are meant to be used for all life lessons. Yes, they are. So when you notice the lesson your ego is showing you and you heal it, guess what? It either doesn't show up again, or when the ego tries to step in, it's not as strong as before, and it gets less and less. You need this. You need what the ego is showing you. You don't need to be in your ego mind, but you need what it's showing you so that you can heal yourself from it and it doesn't present itself again. And this way, you're not experiencing those egotistical words. The self-destruction, destroying the connection. You're not experiencing those. All right. So absolutely right. I agree with you. And I knew it. I wish I knew what you knew. But all right, Maria, I love that. Other people say to tell the ego to get lost, tell it not today. You say ask it questions. And I learned that the hard way. I really did. I'm telling you, the universe worked with me like crazy. And so the universe was just like, Isheen, do you really believe this connection is not with the ego? And I was like, I don't know. The message seems to say that everywhere. And they were like, no. But take a look at it. I don't remember the exact words. But, we exist with the ego, guys. We exist with it. It's saying, okay, I'm just gonna shut that down. I'm not going to, is like denying a part of yourself. Learn from it. What is it teaching you so that it stops showing up? It's all lessons, like Home with J1 had said. Okay. And I've always thought there was a veil over him where he isn't seeing the connection completely. You're right. Bingo. If you feel that way, yes, there is. That was me. Oh my goodness. I share my story with you guys all the time. I don't mind. I literally went 2 years saying that I chased and he ran. For 2 years. Went around with that story. I related with all the chasers. I was just like, I chased. And, you know, and then one day, the universe came to me and was like, you're rejecting this connection. I was like, what are you talking about? I was still in my ego space. Like, no, it was him and all this kind of stuff. All I saw, and he wasn't even rejecting me. He wasn't even rejecting. And I would say first time around, yeah. The rest of the time, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. And the universe had an argument with me that night and was like, you're the one rejecting the connection. I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, nope, it's you. You need to stop rejecting it. And I was like, what? And that was the moment I realized that I left. Didn't know for 2 years. Couldn't see it. Pain, trauma, fear of being rejected, all of this just hid everything. I couldn't see it. Okay? And actually, no, it was a moment. I'll tell you guys. It was a moment. There was a video where it was mentioned to me that I had left. Like the video message that was shared. And I had seen this video lots of times. And this one particular day when I watched it, I was like, what? Didn't see it. Did not see it. Okay? The universe does have a veil on either one or both, usually one twin, who feels a connection, who knows there's something about it, but doesn't know it fully until it's that time, that veil comes off, and they're just like, oh, it was me. Oh my goodness, I hurt this person, Like to wake up one day and realize how much pain you inflicted on another person because you were in pain. Yes, your pain is real, but you couldn't see what it did to the other person, okay, is devastating for a lot of people. Happened to me. There's people I talk to that are just like, I don't know how to forgive myself for what I've done. If I didn't do these things, we would still be together right now. Like, I hate myself for that. And it takes healing. It does take some work to heal from that. I hurt this connection. I hurt us. And I wish I could take back that time and do things differently. It's my fault, feeling that way. Even though it's the universe orchestrated everything, guys, everything. It was meant to happen that way. But there is that guilt of, I didn't see it at that time. That goes on a lot with this connection. All right. I just try to observe the ego. Then I say, thanks for sharing. Definitely work on healing what it's telling you. Okay. I used to say the same thing too, but then I recommend healing what it's showing you because of how this connection works. Because anything that is still left within yourself that hasn't been processed and healed is going to surface because the connection will do that. It when okay, when we talk about having this harmonious union, sometimes I try to stay away from that word. To be in that beautiful connection where everything feels wonderful and great and you're vibing and all this kind of stuff. In order to have that, if there is a part of you that's just like, I don't know if I'm good enough, can I really do this? I can't. It doesn't align. Okay, so this connection is going to show you everything that's not in alignment of that wonderful, beautiful connection. And these things are coming up to be released, to be healed. This is where triggers take place. You're like, my twin flame triggers me a lot Begin to look at the triggers, okay? Don't point the finger at your twin. This is coming out of you. The connection is doing that. So you can heal what's not in alignment of you experiencing a beautiful, wonderful connection, the relationship with them, okay? The same goes with money. When you're healing, you're telling yourself, I want to make $1 million, okay? I'm a business owner, and I'm going to the top. We're going to 1 million. Whatever that has been keeping you in the 30,000, whatever your income is or has been, there is a fear, some sort of pain, limiting belief that has kept you in that bracket. And it does not exist in the 1 million mark. All this is going to get released from you. And it's going to be extremely painful. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, I have to spend money that I don't have. You know, I can't let this money go and stuff like that. That doesn't exist up there in the 1 million, okay? The 1 million has abundant mindset. Money's everywhere. There's opportunities. I can make it again. Did it before. It's going to happen. And all this kind of stuff. Like, if I need to spend the money on something I know is relevant, important for me and my health, my growth, my family, I'm going to do it, right? All that, the blocks to money, the pain around money will be released from your body so that you can get there. Same thing happens. You've got to take a look at the pain and begin to heal yourself from it. Okay? So, okay. Then you say, thanks for sharing. Okay, you're welcome. Today is the first day I feel like I've let him go. We've been engaged in a friendship. He thinks he's poly and is in what I think is soulmate relationship to honor him and her, who I really like. Okay, good. All right. You might be like, no, is she? This wakens him up in a whole nother way. Excuse me. Oh boy, we're going to be having this live for a while, okay? You can watch the replay if you don't catch all of it, okay? All this is important stuff. When a person, their belief is not in alignment with what the universe is creating for both of you so that you experience this connection together without hurting each other, they need time to heal from that. And the universe works on the person so they can heal it. As long as the beliefs are not aligned, like he has beliefs that are not aligned with what the universe has planned for both of you, there isn't reunion. And plus, he's in a soulmate relationship, so that gets in the way as well. Okay? When you let him go, his physical self, you're just like, you know what? I gotta do this. It creates like a trigger within him, but I'm not saying for you to do it intentionally, like this is the reason. I'm just letting you know what happens, because the universe doesn't give up. The universe is just like, this is your person, keeps knocking that in your head all day long, no matter who you are, whether you call yourself runner, chaser. That message keeps going. And what happens usually with the universe, they're like, you can't experience this connection unless you change these things, okay? Because you're not going to hurt your twin. Unacceptable, not allowed, okay? And he will have to figure out how to do that, right? When the messages get really loud, and they do, and it's not even just the message, it's being on that path. Because when a person says, I'm not choosing reunion, I don't want my twin, I'm going somewhere else, it takes you out of alignment with your path. There's a path, everyone. There's a path. And life does not feel the same when you're off path. Your blessings don't come to you easily like when you're in that path, because there's already a plan, okay? And so in order to get on that path and get into the flow of everything is wonderful and beautiful, life is great, stuff is happening, flowing for you, and all this kind of stuff, you choose that path. But to choose that path, the universe is going to be like, well, you can't go down that path with this stuff. Figure it out. Okay, so they really do. The universe is tough, guys. They're agreeing there. They're tough. So, what is your opinion about the angels numbers 144? As I say this, intuition, kundalini energy of the spine, telepathy, and everything that comes from this journey. Perhaps the way to go about it is okay. Whew, that's a whole nother video. I probably won't go into that. That's a good idea to do a video on the kundalini energy, telepathic communication, in a short, in a nutshell, they're all real. It's all real experience, okay? The angel numbers, they are guiding you. That's what angel numbers are doing, guiding you towards ascension. We like to relate it with family, but not necessarily. It's really more about yourself. And so, really hardcore, ultra deep spiritual mode, and don't even bother in the physical world, or as much as you can. The spiritual world is where truth exists. Some of you might be like, uh oh, I don't know. The physical world is created by the ego, okay? And everything that you were taught, beliefs you had, and everything. When you connect with yourself spiritually and you stay there, what you know from that space begins to show up in your physical. Okay? That's how that works. All right, thank you. I'll be done. All right, Maria, can we tell them I'm scared he will leave and never come back whenever we talk again? Ooh, I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. Okay. Why? Because if you are in that space of I'm scared you'll leave again, guess who else feels scared of leaving again? Something ending, something, your twin is you, and this person shows you your fears. This is where we talked earlier in this live about thoughts, how your thoughts can push them away. And so when you have a fear of anything in this connection, your twin shows it to you. You can't have fear within this connection. Now, the wonderful thing about fear, because I don't want you to throw fear out the window and be like, I can't be afraid. Let me just toss it out. Look at it and begin healing yourself. Heal what the fear is showing you. All right. And be consistent. This is the thing, because with healing, we think, okay, I did this technique. Great. Do it again and again and again. Okay. And you're shifting that part of you that believes, that possibly believes, perhaps I'm not worthy. Perhaps I'm not, whatever it is, whatever story is behind, I'm afraid that you're going to leave and never come back. There's a story behind it. And that begins to shift. Your confidence improves, increases, and he reflects that confidence back. Okay. I learned from the universe, and this was really, really great. I like this one. Sometimes we have fear. Sometimes, lots of times. Fear is a part of life. And we pin it on the person. And I did that so many times, the universe was just like, stop it. When you have fear, look at it as if it's you having fear. Take him out of that equation. Okay. Yes, he will reflect that, but you can't heal it when you're pinning it on him. Or perhaps put the fear somewhere else. What is the fear showing you? Fear of being alone? Fear, like, what is it showing you about yourself? Take him out of the equation. Like we're looking like, I'm afraid of you, you take me. He's not doing these things to you. Whatever it is. That fear is in you. So then you break that away and say, okay, where is it showing up in me? What is it showing? What is it telling? What do I need to heal within myself where I'm feeling this fear? what is this fear really about? Is it even about him, or is it about being alone, or being wrong, or being that really doesn't have to do with him? Okay, so this was something the universe taught me, because they were like, you need to stop hurting him. Because this fear of you're not going to be with me, when just it's sabotaging. Okay, can't have that in this connection. So what if he's a very good soulmate relationship, even though it hurts me, it may be best for him. I love him and want him to be happy. It hurts though. We expressed our love for each other in the past. Whoo, that's a whole nother video too. And I like it. I like it. Let go of all that. I'm happy for him. He's in a let go of all of that and just be completely neutral and move on with your healing. Don't have thoughts around that, because whenever you have these thoughts around that soulmate person, the other person, all this kind of stuff, you're feeding it energy. Okay? The universe has a plan for both of you. But when you're feeding it energy, it interferes with that plan and it keeps him trapped. And you're like, but he doesn't seem trapped. He seems happy. I'll tell you this. I've been there. I've been through a lot of this stuff, guys. Okay? It is very hard to be with someone that you feel like you're choosing. You're choosing them, not God. Okay? You're choosing them. You're like, I choose this person, and God is like, no, there's someone else for you. And you're like, wait a second, no, God, this person. And God's like, I didn't choose that person for you. I chose someone else for you. And you live your day like this, where part of you is like split, because God said it's someone you belong somewhere else. It is not an easy life to live. There's like nothing easy about that. And you feel like you're doing something wrong to the person you're with. You're doing something wrong to yourself. You're dishonoring your path. You're like this, just it's a hot mess. Okay? But if your energy is like, oh, he's doing great with her. He's in this relationship that's just like vibing, is going, it keeps him there. So have no thoughts, so he can figure it out. Okay, so he can hear his intuition. All right. Does ear ringing work? It does, for different reasons and so forth. Sometimes twin flame related, sometimes it's not. I hear different stories about ear ringing, but that's for another video. All right, thank you. Yes, he acknowledges the connection and said he needs time to figure it out. Finances, it's taking forever. Thank you. This is what I call free will, okay, guys? Free will is a pain. Free will makes things take longer and stuff like that. Talk to God and tell God to kick him in the head and help him figure it out. I say that, oh my goodness, like anything, any part of this journey that feels like it's taking long, it's because of that. It's, I know I need to do something, but I will. And the next day I will. And the next day I will, until like all this time went by. And it's like, no, prioritize. Okay. And I'm not saying for you to go tell him that, because he might get defensive and everything. Just pray. I believe in the power of prayers. Okay. What is it like now with your twin flame? Is it still intense? Thanks for sharing. Yes, it is. Not as intense as before, but the I wish I can describe it to you guys. It feels calming. It feels relaxing on most days. But it took a lot of work to get there. Okay? It took a lot of releasing, a lot of, like I mentioned with the ego. You guys know my story. It was hard, but it smooths out. It really does. Okay? And this is what I tell a lot of you out there, because many of you are like, are we really going to come together? Is this really going to happen? There is a point when both of you decide that you're going to make effort for the connection rather than distancing yourself from it. Okay, so even though sometimes there's like some tense moments in that kind of stuff, where we're not like running. There is a moment where it comes to that. But you have to believe in yourself and believe in the connection and stop running away from it and so on, okay? All right. All right. Hello, Abudan again. And I mentally purged so much over the New Year's, and then my body physically started to purge. I've never been so sick, but so much has shifted. And I'm not sure if there's more. Okay. So much has shifted. Purging is painful, but it's necessary. Let it all out. There's a whole other you underneath the layers of whatever is being purged. Okay, same here, Anna Marie. I had a cold, but it feels horrible. Oh, okay, all right. I've heard some other people who went through this as well. But from the start, I knew it was purging. I feel my twin is also sick. My chest hurt, which never happens when I have a cold, and I know it's his heart chakra. Okay, weird. Several people in this journey have told me they were sick too. Yes, that's what I was saying. Um, I've been hearing about this. That's ascension symptoms right there. Okay, great video and awesome info as usual, Isheen. Thanks for so much for sharing. You're welcome. My connection feel lighter though. I'm not focused on them or trying to understand them and figure out this journey anymore. Perfect. That's wonderful. And how do I get over the anger? I get so mad sometimes. Take a look at what it's telling you, what it's showing you, what it's teaching you, okay? That anger is teaching you something. What are you angry about? And find out the root of it and heal that. I told him that I don't want to feel shame anymore in wanting to see him on the phone. He told me, let's go out to eat. And then I got scared and he started telling me he doesn't want a relationship. Um, that's a whole nother story right there. Fear, he shows you your fears, okay? Got to work on those fears. And yes, I'm sick, but I don't feel the pain in the connection I felt before. My mind finally has ease. I think I finally let go. Okay. And this was my situation and revealed more of my trauma. Does intuition do this? Yes, it does. Okay. And your trauma is being revealed to you to be healed and processed. Totally, Natalia, I feel the same. Like I finally let go and I've never puked so much. Whoa. So it's hard on the body, but I feel like feeling free from my burden, to be honest, low. Healing, 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 guys. All right, I'm seeing if there. All right, so I'm almost to the end. Okay, thank you guys for your patience. I just like to read all of the comments. And me too, my face even looks thinner because I'm not worrying and filled with so much, with pain so much. Awesome, awesome, Anna Marie. Yes, I also look like I've lost weight. It's only been 2 days. All right, you guys are having that conversation with each other. All right, not only. All right, well, thank you guys so much. And I appreciate having all of you in this session, your comments and so forth. Keep believing in yourself, keep healing, stay believing in this connection. You felt it for a reason. Your twin felt it too. The universe puts everything into alignment for you. All you have to do is, I say all that you have to do. It is quite some work, but work on healing how you've been disconnected from yourself and had pushed love away unintentionally. Okay? All right. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye.